got a delivery today. I'm excited. First box is a kayak cart. And I like the way it is now because it means it can break down to something small to carry with me. Straps go over the kayak. And the next box, I see seats right off the bat. These are the non-inflatable improved seats. Comes with the pro package. Looks like paddle. One half of the paddle. And, oh, it's two paddles. Oh yeah, okay. Two paddles. And the skeg. I bought an additional skeg so I can trim it more for shallow water, and then still have a long one that comes in the other box, I'm sure. And these go on the end, the bow and stern end, to put stuff in. And I guess you call them bow and stern ends, or bags. And the big box has got the pump. I put in a hand pump. It used to be a foot pump. Now it's a hand pump. It's got a gauge on the top of it, if I remember right. Yeah, underneath that piece of styrofoam there. This is a repair kit. I know that because I've been watching videos online. Goes to the pump. The original skeg that comes with the boat, and this is what they call the hull. It's the bag with the boat inside of it. So yeah, I'm going to open that up and we'll see what it looks like. If you've ever had an inflatable canoe or kayak, you'll appreciate this type of bag. The one where it lays out like this in like a cross pattern and or a plus, however you want to look at it. And then you fold it over and then you cinch it down with the straps over here on each end. And the reason is because it never folds up the same each time. Plus you're in sometimes weird situations. And I know this because I used to have the Cellular Colorados over a decade ago, and we used to haul those things around all over. And the boats are somewhat heavy and bulky, and the bag this type of bag definitely helps cover it, because all you got to do is just throw it over on this end, throw it over on this end, and then just secure the buckles or the straps just like that. And it's real easy to do after you have it folded, whatever configuration it ends up being when you're attempting to pack it away for the day. I've already showed you most of the stuff here, but in addition to what you see, this is the repair kit. What it looks like, got the material down there. It's got this piece here, which goes on the end here for floating the two outside tubes, I guess you'd call it, and then the glue for repairing with, I don't even know what this is yet. I'll figure out what that is. But the pump here, it screws on here, and it's got that gauge here so you can see what you're pumping it up to. The manual, I always toss this and download the PDF versions, and of course 2 skegs there. So that completes everything in the package that I received for the Sea Eagle Pro package. Okay, I rolled it out along the garage floor here, and I want to mention a couple things here. One is, this is one tube. This whole side here, and the opposite side has a tube too. They grow up round and they offer the buoyancy from left to right, and it should do a really good job if it's anything like my previous boat. This is a floor. It's a heavier grade material, and these straps that come with it are to hold the floor into the bottom there so it doesn't pop out. So that's the purpose of these straps. Some people I saw online were confused about that, but I know it because I found someone else who told them what it was. These also come with these drain holes here, and the drain holes can be used, let me show you what they look like here, in a couple different ways. Whenever you're floating flat water and you don't want any water to come in, then you would want to close these. But if you're in any kind of moving water where water comes up over the bow and starts filling the boat, then what you can do is unscrew these and they'll all drain back into the water body that you're on, whether it's a river or ocean or whatever. And that is very desirable thing because I remember with my Sevalors, the boat would just become so heavy and waterlogged and be just sitting with water, and I'd get frustrated because I'd have to go off to the side of the bank and turn the canoe over, or the inflatable canoe over, to drain it. And these would make a world of difference. Now this floor is going to inflate pretty thick, so you should, I haven't done it yet, obviously, it's brand new to me, but it should provide enough above buoyancy so your feet aren't sitting in water. So yeah, we're going to keep them closed our first trip, and until and unless the boat takes on too much water, and that will depend on, you know, how low the river is, which creates, the lower the river is, the Buffalo National River is where we're going first, but the lower it is, the more, call them rapids, not really rapids, but water rushes across the rocks, and the shallower the water is, and that is what causes the prone splashing, which fills the boat. So anyway, that's what those are. I don't think they're really called scuppers, more or less just drain holes. If you read this area, this is the floor valve, and it screws in pretty easily. See, and the way this works is you turn it a little bit and it'll unseal it when you're done, but until you get there, I mean, while you're filling up, you just push it in, whatever. When you inflate it completely, just pull it, and the spring pops out, and it keeps it from deflating anyway. It's really simple. I don't know why I explained it so in depth, but anyway, the max the floor can be blown up to is 10 psi. So the pump here has a lever that will do dual action, which is when you pull it up, it'll inflate it. When you push it down, it'll inflate it. Or it can go single action, which I think that one, I was on single action here. This is dual action. It's on, well, anyway, one side does, let's see, this is single action over here, and this is dual action. So when you're pulling it up, it's inflating. When you're pushing it down, it's inflating. Just like that. Do it with one hand. It's not too difficult. And then when you get to the PSI, I'm not going to sit here and do the whole thing for you, but on camera. But you pump it up to the PSI you want. I want a firm floor, so I want to pump it up to about 5 if this will do it. So we'll give it a shot. It says 10 PSI or 0.68 bar. The gauge is, says, it looks like, well, you can see right there what it is. It's way underneath what it's supposed to be. And 10 PSI is, well, it's probably 4 PSI right now, would be my guess. And this floor is absolutely hard as a rock. It's crazy how firm that is, and totally unexpected. I sat on it, and I'm sitting on it now, and I barely go into it. This is so much harder and firmer than the Sevalor was. So that's an unexpected surprise. Makes me very happy. The two main tubes, the side tubes, are 3.2 psi or 2.2 bar. And I guess that makes sense. It doesn't need to be ultra hard. And well, this is pretty close. I mean, this is less than 4 psi, and it's really hard. So we're not going to get anywhere near, we're not going to go above 3.2 for sure. I'm going to show you my little DeWalt pump. And this thing is fantastic. I love it so much. It runs off of their lithium ion. You can see it's 20 volts max. And I've got tools like screwdrivers and stuff that I use this with, but I also bought this to use with it. I've got 2 batteries, but I use it when I'm RVing. I pump up my truck tires, my RV tires. It'll go above 120. You can turn it on and you can set it to PSI, which is tires, and change it here to the various levels, but you can also set it to where it blows just air. It comes out over here, and that extra piece that I had in the repair kit, and just push that on, and it blows it up really fast. And you see I got the pump here. That's what I finish it off with. Well, that's what I finished the other side off with. I've only done it one time. So it's real time. You can kind of see. And one of the concerns, they said don't use an air compressor, but this is made for pumping up rafts and stuff like that. And you see it starts to get a little higher, and you turn it off, and then you just unplug. Oh. That'll tell you that. I'll show you that while I'm here. It wasn't set properly. It's set to inflate, but not to trap. So these things, when you're done for the day, you just push it in a little bit and turn it. Like that. It just lets all the air out slowly. You don't even have to worry. Just turn that and let all three valves evacuate the air, and then when you fold it up, that's what removes the rest of the air, where you can put it in that bag. So I'll show you again the second time here. The pump is straining. You can hear the, I guess you call it compressor. Just push that and take it off. And see, whenever the valve is right, it stops the air. And then you just put that. I'm going to top it off with this to the correct pressure. And then I'll put the, I can show you easily on this side here. Just take this, it just goes in over it, turns on, and it's protected. Much better than my cellular. I got the 3 straps that hold the floor in, but I had to lower the pressure on the floor. I inflated it first, and it was so tight when I put these on, I couldn't get my fingers between here to put the straps in. So I had to deflate the floor a good bit to do that. So my recommendation would be to do the 2 side main tubes first and then the floor. And then once you put these on here, they're going to always fold up with the floor. Unless you want to take this out for some reason to sleep on it while you're camping or whatever. So yeah, that's definitely floor last, floor after the 2 main tubes. Okay, there's some confusion about what is bow and what is stern. And really, I think it's interchangeable on the boat depending on if you have 2 or 3 seats. This is the 420. See it there. And if you put, you'll notice these D-rings here, if you put it 1 seat here and you have 2 people going, the next logical place is here, and that leaves plenty of foot room for both people. But if you put the back seat back here and you clip it to these D-rings, which I've seen some do, then the next available place would be here and here, which is way too close, or it'd be here, and those D-rings are way too far apart. And so in my configuration, it's obvious to me that this is the stern, the back side, because it has the D-rings, plenty of room here, and then 2 for the second floater or the second person in the kayak, and then you have plenty of room for them in the front as well. So that's how I figured it out. The other thing that let me know I got it right is the skegs there in the back. So this is indeed the back. There's no skeg hole up there. So I've got the 2 seats in, and I've set and the front and the back. And I can't touch the seat in front of me, and up there I can't touch the bow. So this is very, very comfortable in that plenty of leg room, plenty of space for whatever type of stuff you're carrying. Let me show you something here too. This seat in the back is wedged in pretty good. The tubes keep it in place. Not so much for that one, but it does stay perfectly in place with these 2 affixed. Now I could have put this further back, but then I wouldn't have access to underneath here, and so I moved it a little bit forward. And so all my storage, and I'm not sure how well you can see in there with my GoPro camera, but plenty of storage underneath this little flap here for some good stuff. And also these come undone on the top and the bottom down there, so you can take this on shore or wherever else if you need, like if you keep lunch in there or something, I don't know. Anyway, you can take them off and easily carry it with you onto the bank. All right, I've got it outfitted for a basic float that's not an overnight camping. Got the pump in the front. There are the pump hoses in the little bag there, and the repair kit's in there. I've got the 2 paddles, of course. I've got my Yeti bag here for adult beverages and even non-adult beverages, and some cold snacks, or snacks that need to be kept from getting boiling hot, like sandwiches. I've got a chair back here. I've got another one of these chairs, but my first float's with a guy I think that's going to bring his own chair. So the backpack here has got the skegs in it, and I'll use the deep or the shallow depending on what we're floating. I've got a portage rope here, which is, it goes into a whole bunch of 550 cord and a handle. That way I can, in shallow water, I can get out and walk and hold on to the raft with this. What else? That's pretty much it. That's for a very basic float. Now if I'm camping overnight, I'll bring a tent and some clothes and that sort of thing. So this will conclude the video, but I just want to end with the capacities here. This is made for 3 people, up to 3 people, and 855 pounds, which is a lot of capacity. And it feels like it's built like an inflatable tank, if there's such a thing as an inflatable tank. It's very sturdy, very, very good materials compared to my cellular from what I can tell. So this is Brent, you guys, sharing my unboxing and assembly.
How long do we gotta stay here for people we don't know?